Well, there's not been much change this week, but thanks to Venga man on the Kia Forums website, I now understand how this works. So it pulls out, and then it slides there for a flat load bay, or it pulls out, and you let it drop down, and then it pushes underneath there and into there. So that gives you an extra, I don't know, 6 inches or so of load space. That's quite handy. So I'll just put that back on top for now to give it the flat load space, and I've got a couple of replacement AliExpress windscreen wiper blades. I think they were about £3, £3 odd. And I got some new pedal rubbers from AliExpress. These were, I think, £1.32 for a pair. The thing I would say that's different, they feel a lot more sort of squidgy, rubbery, definitely stickier feeling. I would guess these would probably wear out quicker, but I'll just try putting one on the pedal just now and see what difference they make. Right, so here we are. Which one looks the worst? Clutch pedal definitely looks the worst. Take that off. So that's the one that's worn. That's another one that's worn, and that's the replacement AliExpress pedal rubber. Looks slightly smaller, but then again maybe it's just the... yeah, it is very slightly smaller. So I shall see if that fits on the clutch pedal. So I'm going to do the same as the last time. I'll just kind of put it on in that corner and then lift it over. Well, that's the pedal rubber installed. Significantly easier to put on. These are much stiffer, these original Kia ones. So I shall try fitting it live one-handed. Right, so I'm going to put it on at the top, so seeing as it's so easy. One-handed, pull it down, give it a bit of a tug, and I change hands here. Pull it down by the corner. So yeah, that's significantly easier to fit than the OEM ones were. But I do think this will wear quicker. It's just got that kind of feeling. It just feels softer, stickier. These are far more durable feeling rubber. But anyway, for £1.32 or whatever it was, I don't think it's a bad option. And there's definitely no play in that pedal still. The car will be going on the road on Friday because it's the start of the month. And that'll be that. And we'll get a road test then. Well, it's time for the maiden voyage today. Try to find the key, wherever the hell I've put that. So I'll have to stop recording because I don't know where I put the bloody key. Well, here we are. Now got the key. That's it unlocked. It's named the Hoover now. I've got my new pedals fitted. So I haven't started the car probably for about 3 or 4 days. AC's on. I'm just checking the feel of the clutch pedal. Seems to be okay. Clutch pedal down. Started fine. Let's just double check that. Into gear, no problem. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Right, so that's okay. Right, well, we better get this show on the road. I'll just need to wait for some traffic to go past. As you can still see, ESC light is on. How do I get miles per gallon? So I've got 117 miles left. MPG 0, 0. Right, so we'll put it on MPG. Excuse me. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to take it into Galashiels. I'll put some diesel in the tank and see how we fare. Well, that's me just arrived in Galashiels, that is. 66.2 miles per gallon. That's average, by the way. Engine's turned off. So what's the first thoughts? I would say there's still... I think there's a little bit of air still in the system. It's changing gear fine, but I just feel the clutch bite point is still very, very low, so very close to the floor. But the clutch is working fine. You know, there's no slippage, nothing like that. I'm noticing a few differences between driving this and the Seed. The Seed is far more refined to drive than the I was going to say i20, than the Venga, which I think is very similar to an i20 from what I understand. Seats are comfortable. There might be something. I think the guy said originally there was some sort of play somewhere. I'm not sure if there's maybe a track rod end or something is making a slight, very, very, very minor feeling like something's not quite 100%. But again, not anything that's like really obvious, but maybe just slightly, a slight bit of movement somewhere, a bit of play somewhere. But otherwise, it drives fine. I notice things like I don't have the, just touch the indicators and I get three indications and then it cancels itself. You don't have that on here. But yeah, the gearbox and everything, I mean, there, I'm able to put it into gear, out of gear. Obviously the engine's not running, but it's going into gear fine, but I still feel there's something that needs tweaked. I will do a proper force bleed. As far as I'm aware, there's been no change on the ESC light because it was still illuminated. I'm just going to go into town and grab myself a coffee and then I'll probably put some fuel in. But apart from that, it's positive. No problems. But yeah, it's not nearly as refined as a Seed, but the miles per gallon was okay, 66 or whatever it was. I'll need to give it a bit of a clean. The floor's needing a vacuum. And then I'll go to an open area and I'll do a few turns left and right if I can find one to see if that helps recalibrate the ESC and take it from there. So anyway, I've got an hour and a half here at Home Bargains in Galashiels for the parking. So I better put my alarm on to count down my hour and a half. Well, back in not so sunny Stow, I suppose I should say. Yeah, everything going fine. I have noticed there's streakiness on the windscreen wipers, so I think I'll change the blades. I've got some AliExpress cheapies. another thing I've noticed is there's no there's no auto lights on this, so back to manual lights. I do get the feeling though that there's something, just it could be a drop link, just a slight, very very tiny slight amount of play. There's no sign of any play in the steering. I did try a reset of the ESC light, so that hasn't done anything. I think there must be a hidden air freshener in here because it smells like a tart's handbag every so often. So I'm going to have a look under the seat, see if there's a hidden magic tree or something like that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my cable to put my power supply for the dash cam back together. But so far, definitely heading in the right direction. But I do think there's still a bit of air, I think, in that system. It's selecting the gears, absolutely no problem at all. But I just get the feeling it's not quite exactly 100%. It's maybe like 99%. But yeah, a bit of fettling there. And then I'll show you something else with the windscreen wipers I noticed when I got to Gallet Shields. Oh, and before I show you that, something else I've noticed. When you take the key out, there seems to be a tiny amount of play there. So if it's in this sort of relaxed position, you can't pull it out. You have to just slightly turn it. See that play? That takes it out. Well, it normally does. It's when it stays there, it's like you can't get the bloody key out. So you've got to kind of turn it back slightly. Then it comes out. So maybe a bit of lubrication. I'm trying to put the key back in, looking on the screen now. But yeah, that's a minor niggle. Not the end of the world, obviously, but just a minor niggle. So maybe a bit of something in there to help that. So anyway, back to the wiper blades. Yeah, this one here, it does work, but you'll see it's parking there, as far as where it should be parking there. So I think I'm gonna pop these off and just move it a spline up. Same with this one, the long one. It's parking on the edge there, and I think it should be parking a bit further up. So I don't know if that's playing the mechanism or whatever, but I'm going to try. It's pretty crusty, that, so I'll put a bit of release oil on there. That one's not so bad. But yeah, I'll take these off, put new blades on, and I'll adjust them. And I still need to get myself some touch-up paint for these bits. But I think overall quite a productive bit of progression. So let's see what we do. I'll go and get a socket set, and I'll see about lifting those wiper arms up. Well, I don't know if I've done the right thing, but while I was looking for the release oil, I came across a tin of silicone spray that I bought way back in 2008 or 2009 when I used to live in the Netherlands. So I've put that in, and now it's as smooth as silk. It's amazing the difference a bit of silicone spray makes. But whether that was the right thing to do, I don't know. And I've also put it on the window guides. I need to turn it on. So, job well done, I think. And a nice old tin of siliconin spray. So anyway, that'll go back in the shed, never to be seen for another 10 years. Actually, one other thing, I know I'm kind of jumping around in this video, but one of the things that the guy said to me when I was collecting the car or looking at the car was, he said that the caliper was sticking on. So obviously, if a caliper sticks on, you'll get heat build up, and well, there's no sign of any heat build up on any of these discs, so I don't see what the thing was about the, I don't see how on earth the calipers were sticking on. The brakes are absolutely fantastic on it, actually. As I might have mentioned before, reminds me of the Kia Picanto. That was my alarm to tell me my parking time was up in Galashiels. Those front disc brakes are definitely a bit worn. They're still working fine. So I mean, it'll need new discs at some point. But no, there's no heat in that at all. I'm sure most of you have had a stuck caliper before, and you can't even put your hand on the bloody wheel because it's that hot. So anyway, the plot thickens. Okay, so I've let the release oil soak in there for 10 minutes or something now. Engine's still warm, you can feel that. So it's a 14mm socket, same here. So I'm just going to undo those and see if I can lift these up and just move them around a smidgen so that they're below the black line anyway. That one came off very easily. This one was a bit more stuck on, but it's come off okay. But yeah, that one was definitely on much tighter than this one. So next thing is I'm going to see if I can wiggle these off. I'll need to use two hands to do that. And what I'll do is I'll just bring this up at an angle. Oh, it doesn't help if you put your hand in front of the camera while you're doing it. So I'll bring this up at an angle and I'll see if I can break it off there. Hopefully it comes off. It might not. Well, this one on the driver's side, that came off quite easily. Just a combination of sort of wiggle, anti-clockwise, clockwise, and then up and down, and it popped off. This one was definitely on much tighter, but it's come off. I'm just going to clean out these areas, and then I need to clean out here as well. I've just got a bit of paper towel, that'll do that. And then refit it. Right, so I've cleaned that out to some extent, same with that. I'm not going overboard on it. It's a bit of a different fitment for the wiper blades, so I'm not familiar with that style, so I'm going to have to look at that, and I'll get the new wiper blades out the back of the car and see how they fit. Well, I haven't had this type of blade before, but the way this works is you got to push like that button. You see it's at an angle, little nib. You need to push that down and then slide it out. So the question is, does this one, these are maybe not the right ones, does this one fit with this type? Well, I'm going to find out. Well, I might need the opinion of the viewers here, but I don't actually see how this is going to fit onto there, because that's a very specific fitting. Unless I've got something somewhere that I've got some adapters that would fit that type. I'll need to have a look. But yeah, it's a bit of a complication, shall we say. Well, I think I've failed on the windscreen wiper front. So this one obviously allows you to fit on an adapter. This one, I've taken this off, as you can see by the hash, and I've clipped it back on again. So this one is not going to accept that adapter. It's too wide. But I'm going to have to get a blade that accepts an adapter that will go into this part of the wiper blade. So that's a bit of a bugger. But, well, just another opportunity and challenge. Okay, so I've just placed these on below the black mark and well off this vent trim, and then I'm going to tighten them up, and that should be that. But I'm just using the original blades because I haven't got a blade that fits. Okay, so that's the lineup. It's a bit solid, so it's below the black shaded part. Same with that. And now when I lift it up, it doesn't interfere with the other one. So, well, that's that done. So, what else have I got to do today? I think that'll do for now. I'm going to take it out for another run shortly. But so far, so good. But I have actually got a one-way bleeder coming to make sure I get all of the air, if there's any air left, in the clutch, or the master cylinder, the circuit, hydraulic circuit, whatever you want to call it. So there we go. I think it's possibly time to just tidy my tools up and get myself some lunch, because it's now 1 o'clock. So anyway, hope you're having a good weekend, and if you feel so inclined, please feel free to like and subscribe, and if you've got any comments or suggestions, let me know.